I missed it. I had intended to come to those meetings too, because I just feel like there's that need within the Cherokee Nation that we really don't see, and we don't address it as much as we do other things as far as special needs for our children. So I'm really
we
happy to
address
see
it on
that
an individual basis.
I don't think it's published enough out there, and I think this is a good thing to have the community come in and see, because I just don't, and you may be right, we don't see it because you do it on an individual basis.
We don't have full-blown programs for those things, but as we have children come in, we try to address whatever need they have.
Yeah.
So there is a difference there. But I just want to remind everyone, and I think I sent out the information, we'll send it again. We have a series of these trainings. We have other well-renowned people in the field of child development coming in from now through September. This is through some of our R funds, how we're using them to train our staff, to make our staff better. ICW, child care. So if you have an opportunity to take advantage of those, if they come.
Would there be a chance of getting any of those classes in the evening? Because I know
Well, we had them in the evening.
Oh, you did have them?
Oh,
okay.
yes. We had them in the evening at Catoosa. We had them in the evening here in Tahlequah for that reason, because we know people work and they can't come during the day.
Good.
So we'll continue to try to do that when possible. That's really all I have.
Any questions from you? Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Next up is Mr. So from Community Services. Charlie?
Good everybody.
Good afternoon.
Well, I'm ready to report. Any questions?
This thing go pretty smooth.
I'm supposed to put you all in a good mood, so I hope you're in a good mood.
I do have one question, Charlie, and I think I had talked to you and Billy Smith. I don't know, it's been 4 or 5 months ago, and I knew back when I was over in the water and sanitation program, we had got a couple of water treatment plants donated to the tribe, and then we donated them to, I forget what water district, but anyway, they went down south someplace, and we were trying to get those back. And what I understand that we did get them back, and do we, who takes those donations? Do you take them, or does it go to the treasurer's office like some of the other things?
When you talk about donations, you're talking about the treatment?
The treatment plant coming back to the nation.
Yeah, I think the latest word on that, Harley, is the what happened there. I think they went down towards Sequoia County or River Falls or something.
Yeah, they went to River Falls years ago, I remember that.
And they were sort of donated to them, and so instead of having us to purchase them, they're just going to donate them back, so the paperwork's got to be done. So
I want to take this. Have we got that
it's
done?
a separate process from what I understand, so we'll be able to transfer them over to towards your area.
Okay, that's kind of what I was checking on to see where it was. See, that actually got those treatment plants back and ready to make the other donation.
We're getting them back.
Okay. You check on it, see where it is from.
Sure. Yeah, I think we're getting pretty near that.
Okay. Miss Laura, you had a...
Charlie, is there like some sort of rule on these housing packages that if the houses aren't completed within a certain date that they go to somebody else?
Is there a rule on it?
Our policy, I mean, I've noticed that some of these houses are approaching 4 years and...
Well, now there's two we've talked about. We are taking them back. There's just not been no participation, so we are taking those two back. And but some of those, it's actually taking us a lot lesser time now than that, because we are working with them more. We are making them be more, taking part in more. I guess what you might say is we're getting more strict on them as far as taking part in their participation.
So you are going to take a couple of them back?
Right, we are in the process of taking a couple of them back.
Are those the real older ones?
Absolutely.
Okay. Because I'd kind of been watching the
well, we took them back.
We
took them back, and then they came back and met with the administration. We gave them a chance. We gave them several chances, and then we've been watching them, and finally we said they're not going to be taking part, so let's take them back. That's what we got now.
Well, if they were unfinished after 4 years, if we don't do something pretty soon, we'll lose what we already have in them.
Yeah, we'll get them back.
Thank you.
Councilor England, you had a comment or question?
Charlie, can you tell, in this one in District 8 in Washington County, this Wells Dozen pump that's being installed, is that Vera project that's been talked about?
Yeah, we couldn't hear you up here. But can you,
Just watching, I was just asking Charlie about the well that's dug and the pump that's being installed. I just want to know if that's that Vera project house up there.
okay.
If that's the one you're talking about, where we dug the well and there was bad water, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna install a water line. We're gonna bring a water line to the house.
Oh,
Yeah,
more
we're
water.
gonna bring more water. But then we had to work out some easements from the landowners and that, so, but we are gonna put in a water line.
Good.
Yeah, it'll work out.
A good deal.
Yeah.
That's all I had. Thank you, Charlie.
And Ms. Philbright, you had a comment or question?
Yes, thank you. I've got a question about the community organization at Brushy. Have they made any progress or started doing anything toward their building?
I think they, if I'm not mistaken, they leased what's that little community there, they leased a church.
Okay.
And we were working with them.
When I drove by there this morning, I saw a sign out in front of the church, and I didn't know anything about it whatsoever.
They were trying to find property, and then they were going to the school, and so we discouraged them from going to the school because, you know, anything happens and the school's in a position to put the property back or whatever. So they went to, I forget the name of that
It's
community.
Blunt Baptist, I think.
Huh?
Blunt.
Yeah, Blunt, yeah, so they leased the church from there.
Is
So
this the
that's where
first
they-
time a community building has ever been leased? I mean,
That church?
no, it's the first time our groups have ever done that, leasing a building. Although we usually...
Not really, they've leased to the building. so,
Okay, I just wondered.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
what
we
about
don't
the
really-
group?
That's not many, just I think probably a couple of them have, but we really don't like to encourage the organizations to lease a building because if that's the case, we'd rather have them own the
Okay.
building.
I just wondered what was going on. I
Yeah, that's
hadn't
what
had
they
any
do.
contact with them lately, so.
Yeah, we been in touch with them in the last 3 months. That's, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Starnes?
Charlie, on this community adult fund to the Cherokee Nation that we have here today, through the community services, administered by community services.
Are you talking about the adult
Cherokee
fund?
Nation Community Adult Fund.
The adult fund,
Huh?
yeah. Uh-huh.
How much funding is in there?
How much money is in there? Well, we had, I think we had about, I'm not really sure what we had, but I don't think we only had about probably a couple $100,000 left in there. And we made some changes in the policies. That's the one that's been sort of tossed around for a couple of months. But we made some policy changes in there, so now we're going to be able to help other people. Actually, it was limited to people that were getting their education, the adults going to school. So now it's been opened up to other requests that are being made to that program. So I think we only have enough money to serve probably about 100 more people. It's not much left.
Thank you.
Charlie, I have just a comment, and I know we can't probably do anything about it now, but I have some concerns about a water line that was installed there in Delaware County. It's called Bradley Water Line. I've had a person call me, and it just doesn't seem like we're really on top of what's going on up there. And what I mean by that is this person told me that they have 1,300 feet of water service line. That's a quarter of a mile that those people are going to be straddled with that's going to have to maintain it. You know, being familiar with the program, we always want to get closer with the water than a quarter of a mile from a person's home because, well, I understand they have to go back in there and put a 2-inch line to go from the meter to the house, which is 1,300 feet, and it's natural that you would because if you put a 1-inch line, you're probably not going to have any pressure. But it concerned me we didn't have enough, that we may not have had enough supervision over that water line. And to me, we're just making problems probably for that homeowner in the future. So
Maybe
I
look
guess
into
just-
it. I'll look into it.
we just need to be, you know, look at that a little bit closer from now on to make sure that we don't straddle some of our Indian folks with that problem because if that water line breaks a 2-inch service line, you know, that's their responsibility to the meter. But anyway, I just want to make sure that you're aware of it and make sure that Billy is so we
I'll
can
look into it.
take care of that and make sure we don't try to do better in the future on watching those installations for us. Okay, any more questions for Charlie? Okay, thanks, Charlie. Good report. Roads and Transportation with Michael Lynn. Michael?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the council.
Good afternoon.
You should have our report for the month, probably included in, as with Charlie's report. I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have about it.
Any questions for Michael? I just have one comment, Michael, is I know I've asked you about a transit route for the northern round. I'd like to, we'll keep bugging you till we get something going, because with gasoline coming up to $4 and $5 this next year, people are going to want to ride those transit systems.
Right. And I did look into it since the last meeting, and we did not have the numbers from the surveys that were done, and we do need to get back with. We surveyed West Siloam Springs, for instance, right as they were finishing up their expansion. They hadn't even, to my knowledge, hadn't hired everybody that they were going to hire. We need to follow back up with them and resubmit that survey so that we can try to get some updated information. But as far as from Jay into Tahlequah each day, we just didn't have the numbers. Secondly, is funding. Right now all of our Federal Transit Administration funds are being used on the existing routes. I was going to report, and I'm not sure if it made it into the report that is presented here. We did recently receive a grant, just in a little over $392,000 for this fiscal year from the Federal Transit Administration. Those grant funds are going to be used to purchase one additional bus, which will make our fleet, if you will, up to 4 buses. That bus is going to be used on a Muskogee to Tahlequah route, so that we anticipate getting that purchased in the next few months. And the remaining dollars are going to be used to operate the existing routes that we have. But it's definitely something we'll look into and continue to make requests for survey information.
I just think, with gasoline's going to go up, people are going to start riding more and more. And that's the only route that's not covered. We're covering north, south, east. Nothing from the north, but the rest of the routes are covered. So I'd like you to give us some priority so we can get some surveys done. And I would appreciate it. And we got a question from Ms. White.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I believe I emailed you about the comments we got from the Nature Conservancy and such. So did we respond? You didn't send a response. I don't think if we sent a response.
I haven't sent a response. There's actually a meeting set up this week with the Cherokee Nation Administration to discuss that project and the future of it. And that's one reason that I was not able to give a lot of information today until we hold this meeting. Figure out what direction the administration wants to go with this project. But after that, there will be a response sent, no matter what the decision is going to be.
And then, so will it? If we're able to accommodate and compromise on any particular changes or, the environmental impact that they noted and such. So will that be reported back to this committee?
Yes.
Thank you.
The project Ms. Calvin Watts is referring to is a Pumpkin Hollow project that runs through Cherokee County and into Adair County, and it runs near the Nichols Preserve, which is operated by the Nature Conservancy. They had submitted a letter with some concerns to me, and as soon as a decision is made on that project, we will respond to them and make this committee aware of it.
And you had another question.
Yeah, and this was just, so I guess Dana Espinal has the signed project for Claremore Indian Hospital, but I've yet to see a letter that I can share with the board concerning the, in fact, she's not responded at all.
Okay.
Which is disconcerting.
Okay. I will follow up with her. She's got the project for all Cherokee Nation clinics, so it's not just the Catoosa or Claremore, but I know she's working with ODOT on all of those. So let me follow up with her.
And it's, at least email is so easy. It would be nice to have an acknowledgement that she received it.
Okay.
Thank
I'll
you.
follow up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
And Michael, on the nature property, how long is that, the frontage on next to the road? Do you know? Is it a half a mile, a mile?
It's going to be longer than that.
What is it?
It's a considerable amount of property.
That's a huge area.
Yeah, very, very huge area. I do have one more thing I would like to just bring to the committee's attention. We will have a resolution be coming forward hopefully next month, very soon, on a bridge replacement in Rogers County over Dog Creek. We've been working with the county commissioner in that area to apply. The resolution will authorize us to apply for Indian Reservation Roads and Bridge funds. As the committee probably knows, those are competitive funds. We want to hurry up and get our application in. We're still coordinating with the commissioner on getting some information that we need from them as far as the application goes, but part of that application does require a resolution from the council, so that we'll just want to give you a heads up on that. That will be coming forward.
And that resolution is no matching funds required?
No,
for
sir.
the top of
No, sir.
Any more questions for Mike? And I see next on the agenda is public comments, and that's the standing order of business of each council member, each committee member. So, seeing none, Michael, thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Next, we have housing services with David.
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
First, I'd like to make a disclosure. Adam James, son of Housing Services employee Mary James, is applied for the rental assistance program. I believe that's the only disclosure for this month. The next board meeting for the Housing Authority is tomorrow, is at noon, over at the Housing Authority building. Just want to update you all on a couple of things going on. We were contacted actually last month by Cookson Hills Community Action Agency. If you're aware, for those of you in this area that know about those folks, they're having a few issues. They have a large quantity of mobile homes that they had gotten from FEMA. They have them at different areas, some in Stillwell and some actually down at Cookson at Blue Top, and I think one other location, I don't know where that's at. We've looked at some of those. They want to sell some of them to us. We haven't got a price. I feel bad for their organization. The gentleman we were working with was going to have a price last Monday night after the board meeting, and doggone if he didn't resign at that board meeting. So we're still trying to work things out with them. But I'll keep you all updated on the progress of that. But they have well over 100 mobile homes. And then last week, either Thursday or Friday, I can't remember which, we got notice from HUD that the FEMA trailers down in Hope, Arkansas, we'd gotten about a dozen of those, or 15, about a year and a half ago. They're going to make those available to tribes. So we're working on two different issues there, two different opportunities for some mobile homes through FEMA. The last dozen or so that we got actually worked out pretty good for us. So.
David, you said something about selling those over there at the Cookson Hills?
Yeah, I think
are we buying those in Hope, Arkansas, or are they?
Actually, what Cookson Hills has told us is they're looking for their transportation costs.
Okay, understand. And then the other question I had is, there was some concerns about the formaldehyde that used to be in some of those. Is that cleared up? I just hear bits and pieces about that.
Yeah, all those, the ones that we'd gotten before, they had all been checked for formaldehyde. They all passed. I'm not as familiar with the ones, but that is something we definitely look at. The ones in Hope now, they're okay.
Are those new?
Well, no, those were a part of that original Katrina.
Katrina.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But they're unused.
That's what I meant. I guess that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Mr. Snell.
Do we have several of them homes still sitting around the communities?
We don't.
We don't.
Cookson Hills has got some. Now, I don't know about other action agencies around, if they've got any, but we don't have any empty anywhere.
I know there's three sitting at Twin Oaks, and somebody said that they belong to the Cherokee Nation. They've been vacant for
No.
3 years.
There's some other agency up in that area that has set a few, because the mayor of Kansas called me a month or two ago. He was concerned about one that had been set that had some problems, and it wasn't ours. But I don't know which action agency. There's one called Waroma. It actually Wagner, Rogers counties up in that area. I don't think they stretch over there, but I'm not familiar with who's up in that area, Curtis. I'll try to find that out though.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions, Dave? Thank you, David.
Thank you.
And next is Commerce Housing Report with Anna. I see Shade here to get a report.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
You should have a copy of our report, and I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions for Shay? Well, Shay, I think it's a pretty detailed report, so I appreciate it. No questions.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Moving on to old business, I see none. Go on to new business, and I see we do have one there for the resolution. Norm, I think you're here to talk about the resolution. I don't know if we need to talk about it, but why don't you come forward anyway, and I'll hear a motion to make that.
It's pretty simple. We've done this in the past from time to time. We have some furniture and furnishings that we've actually used in our offices that are pretty worn, but still some of our constituents that we serve could benefit from them, and we would like to make sure that they're just not warehoused and being put to use.
And those are good things to do, you know, we need to do that, you know. Anything we have, we need to do that, but do I hear a motion?
A motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion on it? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign.
And that motion would include moving it to full council.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, motion's been made, seconded, and passed. Moving on to other business. See none. Any announcements? Anybody have any announcements they'd like to make? If not, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Any opposed, same sign. Thank you.